Hello everybody, Flash Notion here, back for the finale of Season 3 of the Harley Quinn animated series. And I haven't even really taken a break for this one. I probably should have. But I'm not even going to bother. I just want to get this done and over with, and yeah. So Harley just got Ivy to stop the zombie plant apocalypse. Bruce came to terms that he couldn't bring his parents back fully. Frank is back to normal, so there's no more potential Eden stuff going on. Yeah, just everything's kind of wrapped up, but like not, because we still have all the lingering like personal issues to deal with, and also like potentially stuff with James Gordon and Joker as like the leaders and whatnot. Like, yeah, there's a lot of cleanup stuff to do still, which is what I expect this episode to be, but we won't find out until we watch it. So let's just real quick go over here, and then we will get started right in 3, 2, 1, play. Well, that was the finale. And, you know, in general, that was Harley Quinn Season 3. I hesitate to say that it was bad in any kind of way. Let's see. So, if I go through the episodes, the first episode was one of the. It was very funny, but it also wasn't particularly necessary. We could have skipped over most of the first episode and just introduced the concept of Eden in episode 2, or rather. We only need, the only thing introduced in the first episode that was actually necessary for this season is the concept of Eden, and therefore pretty much everything that was in the subsequent episodes could have been shifted forward one. This season only really needed 9 episodes, so as far as I can tell, maybe less actually. I mean, obviously there was the introduction of the whole Thomas Wayne biopic thing with Clayface, but again, we didn't need as much stuff, like as much time spent on that as we did. Just in general, this season had a lot of really weird choices with how it allocated its time. A lot of stuff was introduced that I don't know if it was the most necessary thing in the world. Like, we spent all that time on the Thomas Wayne biopic type thing, but like, did we really need to? Like, it just... Fuck. I actually need to take a quick break here, so yeah. I'll be back in, you know, split second here. Alright, sorry about that cut, but it was necessary. Yeah, I knew I should have taken more of a break before I started the recording. Either way, though, you know, this episode was good, but I feel like the season as a whole was not as good as it could have been. Part of it is just weird allocation of time, you know, weird choices in terms of like where you end an episode versus where you begin it. Like, we kind of did it twice with both Frank and what happened with King Shark. Like, we cut away from something very important, and then we just didn't really address what was going on with them behind the scenes afterwards, and then they just showed back up and were seemingly fine. Like, some really weird choices there. But I do like the overall story here. So if we go back through this show, season 1 was about Harley Quinn breaking away from the Joker and proving herself capable of standing alone without him, and then also standing up to him, confirming her own self-identity, that kind of shit. And it was a long arc that ended with her basically declaring herself Gotham's top villain. But, season 2, we pick up with a little bit of a time skip, but like directly because of the ending of season 1, Gotham's kind of going to shit. The city is cut off from the rest of the world. It doesn't have the resources that it used to. And so Harley takes it upon herself basically to kind of clean up Gotham in a way. Like, the reason why she's doing it is because she wants to consolidate her own control over the entire city and be recognized for it. But ultimately, she's taking down other villains. She took down... She took down Penguin first, then she got Mr. Freeze to basically kill himself, and then, technically she took down Bane, sort of. She took down Bane's place of control, but, like, she didn't really take him down. And besides that, it was mostly Two-Face that was the real problem, and Gordon took him down. But regardless of that, like, the whole thing wrapped back around to Kite Man and Ivy's relationship, and Harley having to, like, properly express that side of herself and her feelings for her Ivy and whatnot. And there's a lot of complicated stuff in that season, and it kind of ended. It kind of felt like there was two plots at once happening, actually, now that I think about it. Because, like, you had the plot of, fixing Gotham, basically. But then you also had the plot of... I forgot about the Riddler. That's right. Harley did take down the Riddler. A little bit of help with Babs, from Babs, but mostly it was Harley. Anyways, point being... that, like, there was that half of the story where Harley was taking down the bad guys, and then there was the other half of the story where Harley was trying to deal with her emotions regarding Ivy. So, yeah, in a way, it kind of feels like they maybe should have split season 2 into two different stories. Two full separate seasons, where one season was dealing with the whole restoring Gotham side of things, and then the other season was dealing with the whole Kite Man wedding subplot, dark side invasion, all of that. But it is what it is. Season 2 turned out fine. Season 1 is still probably the overall best season of this show. But I do really like what they've done here with season 3, where we kind of have the main focus of the season is on Ivy. Ivy is kind of going through a condensed version of what Harley went through in the previous 2 seasons, where she's essentially trying to find herself and find out what it is that she wants to do and what she wants to become. And she lands on being the top villainess around, or villain. I guess I shouldn't add I shouldn't gender it. But yeah, she lands on being the top villain around, and the way it goes down ultimately negatively impacts her relationship with Harley a little bit. But that's because, from I'd say about like the second half of the season onward here, Harley has been steadily going closer and closer to being a full-on anti-hero. Was it the second half? I mean, it's so hard to tell. I mean, already the episodes are starting to blend together in my head a little bit. But yeah, Harley was going more and more towards being an anti-hero, and the end result is that she and Ivy are at odds. And, they've kind of worked things out now where it's just like they're both going to do their own thing, but they're basically gonna go for a work-life separation with this, where it's like outside, when they're at work, basically, Harley's a hero, so to speak, and Ivy is a villain, and that will put them at odds. But then they're gonna come home and they're gonna, be like, hey, honey, how was your day? Even if they already both know, and just, completely separate the two parts of their lives. I don't know how that's going to work out long term. I don't think it's going to work out very well long term. But we'll see. Or I hope we'll see. Whether it's a fourth season or like a movie. I feel like this show deserves a proper conclusion. And I feel like that proper conclusion can only come from, finishing out that particular angle of the story. It's not likely to happen at this point. As far as I can tell. Maybe. But the way things are going over at Warner Discovery, I do not have faith. Oh, that reminds me. I really do want to see... I'm pretty sure it was an Easter egg. Where was it? No, it was before that. Okay, right after this. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that said Pretentious Fucker Productions, which that is the most hilarious thing that's been in that might be my favorite fucking joke from the entire episode, just because it works. It totally works. I really want somebody to actually make a fucking movie studio called Pretentious Fucker Productions, because that sounds amazing. And fuck it. I mean, if I ever actually get the fucking money to do all the things I want, and somebody else has not taken up that name, I'm calling dibs. Fuck that. God damn. Good joke. Yeah. So that being said, right. I like what they did with the overall story of the season. I do think it could have been done better. I think Clayface's story is actually the one that matters the least. Like if Clayface's story had actually ended with him getting the recognition he wanted, then I think it would have been fine. But because it didn't end that way, it kind of feels like his entire story was pointless. Like, we didn't need this specific movie to be the thing that brought Bruce out, It could have been literally anything, And I feel like they made it this movie specifically because they needed to have Clayface have something to do for many parts of the season. And then it just didn't fucking work out the way that they probably wanted it to. Like, it wasn't that great. Yeah. On the other hand, though, King Shark's story wasn't executed the best, I don't think, but it did end up being more relevant because King Shark was the one who helped talk Bruce into, moving on and moving forward, and that, had a big impact with how things went down in this final episode with Bruce. So I kind of wish we'd switched it up, Like, you could still have the plot line with fucking Clayface going on, but have it condensed a lot more and have it mostly be an off-screen type of thing. Like, have him mention that he's going to this production and whatnot and try to get a role, and then don't show anything, but then have him come back and be like, I did get a role as the director's chair. Like, this is one case where telling instead of showing actually would have been better, because you could save time on that and instead devote that time to other more important things. But then, like, have that could have been, like, in the first fucking 10 minutes of the episode, of the first episode, and then, the second back half of the first episode, you could have gone with the fucking, an accident causes Billy Bob Thornton to die, and Clayface now has to take his place for the entire rest of the production. And, like, yeah, it could have just been condensed a lot more. And then, like, every time that Clayface is useless in this season, instead cut that out, have it be, King Shark or, well, I don't know who else you could have gotten. I mean, there's nobody else in Harley's gang, but, like, just have him not be there because he's working on this fucking movie, and you can have it be in the background without it taking up time and without it feeling like a waste of time, which is what it felt like. So yeah, that's all very unfortunate. Everything else, the only other thing is, like, in episode 1, we introduced the Suicide Squad, Amanda Waller and whatnot, and, like, we never fucking did anything with it. Like, I was fully expecting that to come back somehow, and it just fucking didn't. So yeah, I mean, Catwoman got a bigger role this season, which was nice, because her appearance last season was great. Well, I say it was great. It was good. I'm not a big fan of this version of Selena Kyle. Like, she seems mostly cold and heartless. I mean, she gave Bruce the pearls somehow, but, like, not... That one small act doesn't really make up for the fact that she's kind of been a total bitch the entire rest of her screen time. Yeah. Just... Overall, this season it's weird. Like, itchy eye. Oh god. Anyways, I feel like this season, the planning out of the season was kind of terrible in terms of how it was executed, but in concept and in ideas, I think this might be, some of the best stuff that the series has had to work with, like season 1 was a relatively mediocre concept, I feel like, that was executed perfectly. And then season 2 was a pretty good concept that was executed okay. It worked out. It was good. And then season 3, I feel like it's a fantastic bunch of concepts that were executed pretty mediocre, So it's like, we've kind of run the full gamut with this series. Yeah. I like the season. I like the episodes. I like where the characters are now. I really do hope that in the future they do get an opportunity to bring everything to a conclusion. One, like, whether it's a movie or a fourth season, I don't know. But hopefully Warner Discovery does not. Hopefully they can stop shitting themselves into oblivion over there and actually do some good work. I fear for the future of Ruby at this point, because Rooster Teeth is a subsidiary of Warner Discovery. And also just because apparently things at Rooster Teeth itself aren't any better, really. It's just a shit show over there. God, the things that are coming to light right now, it's depressing. It's fucking depressing. I wish creators could just create the things that they want to create and not have to worry about all this other bullshit. And just... Oh well. Why do I always do this? Why do I always end video? I was on such a high note, and now it's depressing. Whatever. Right. So, that was Harley Quinn Season 3. It was great overall. I wish I'd been reacting to it live. I wish I had done things the way that I did. But yeah, regrets aside, it's all working out in the end here. Anyways, so, come back in the future. We're going to be doing My Hero Academia Season 6 and some other stuff. Hopefully Ruby Volume 9 sooner rather than later. Hopefully more Ruby after that. Yeah. And, One Punch Man Season 3 confirmed. So that I look forward to that when it comes out. Anything else? I mean, obviously there's other series that I kind of have planned to react to. Let's see. Right. I haven't actually decided yet what I was going to do next. In any case, yeah. Maybe be on the lookout for a community poll, since YouTube has finally decided to actually give me access to that feature. I don't know why it fucking took so long, but yeah. So with that, I'm gonna call it. That's the end of the video. Hope to see you all back in the future. Anyways, until next time, bye bye.